In the United States, there are cities that are really short on jobs. When that happens, young people move out. They can't survive there. They gotta go someplace where there's work. So what does a city do to generate tax revenue when everyone's moving out? Well, they start asking retirees to move in. This way they have new blood in town that most of the time doesn't need a job. In this video, we're counting down 10 cities that are almost begging retirees to move in. Because not every retirement dream involves Florida traffic and California prices. Whether you're into mountain views, coastal calm, or desert sunsets, these places are throwing out the welcome mats and hoping you bring your rocking chair with you. This list is in no real order because we're not really going off any stat. We're going off a bunch of things, like programs they have, taxes, how much real estate is, things like that. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look. Number 10, Camden, South Carolina. History, horses, and a slower kind of southern. Camden is South Carolina's oldest inland city, and it acts like it's got something to prove. While Charleston gets all the hype and Myrtle Beach gets all the tourists and a lot of bad decisions, Camden is just sitting there sipping sweet tea and trying to lure in retirees who want charm without chaos. The town's been actively promoting itself to retirees with heritage tourism, historic preservation, and tax-friendly living. Horse racing is a big deal here, because why not? But so is kayaking on Lake Wateree, and enjoying a lifestyle that's quiet without being boring. Camden has a lively art scene, affordable housing, and a community that still hosts block parties, and actually, they all know their neighbors. The Kershaw County Council on Aging offers programs like Walk with Ease and A Matter of Balance for retirees and senior citizens, which will help living in Camden because they have a very walkable downtown. Camden is affordable. You can afford groceries and a mortgage on a fixed income. Camden is practically holding the door open for you with a smile. Now here's the cool thing. Their homes are still affordable, but they've been dropping in recent years. In the last year, they've dropped 1%. And the average home stays on the market for about 32 days. The average home value here is $234,000. Number 9, Pahrump, Nevada. Now, most of you have probably heard about Pahrump, or at least what goes on in Pahrump, but that's really not all that happens there. Yes, they have legal brothels in Pahrump. Pahrump may sound like a made-up place from a Dr. Seuss book, but it is a real desert town an hour west of Las Vegas. It's got wide-open skies, low property taxes, and a cost of living that practically begs snowbirds to take up permanent residency. This is a town with no state income tax, plenty of land, and a surprising number of modern conveniences like casinos, golf courses, and halfway decent wineries. Because nothing says retired in the desert like sipping a local Cabernet in your double wide. Yeah, they got a lot of trailers here, but they also have a lot of condos that go for around $160,000, $170,000. They also have a decent healthcare network thanks to its proximity to Las Vegas, but without the traffic, neon lights, and tourists asking where the buffet is. Pahrump has been actively marketing itself as a retirement community for years. Land is cheap, homes are affordable, and if you like peace and sunshine more than fancy brunch or Whole Foods, you might feel right at home here. Now, this one, if you buy a home, a lot of them are expensive because a lot of them have been built recently, and their average home value is about $371,000, and that's gone up. But here's why Pahrump may be right for you. They have a lot of condos and a lot of townhomes that are going for under $200,000. They also have a lot of open land where you could build your dream home on. And the land that's decent, I mean, it's desert, but it goes for anywhere from $12,000 to $70,000 for the land itself. And there are plenty of contractors just waiting for that call to build you your house. Number 9, Carthage, Missouri. Andy Griffith energy with a twist of the Ozarks. Carthage is the kind of place that feels like time slowed down, parked in front of the courthouse, and never left. Known as America's Maple Leaf City, Carthage leans hard into the small town charm, historic downtown, and shockingly low cost of living. But lately, it's also leaned into the retiree recruitment game. With an aging population and a quiet, safe atmosphere, Carthage is positioning itself as a retirement-friendly destination for folks tired of noisy neighbors and big city headaches. They've got art festivals, old Route 66 vibes, and housing prices that look like they were printed off a 1992 real estate listing. Add in that Southwest Missouri doesn't tax Social Security and has a relatively low property tax, and it's no wonder the local leadership has been quietly trying to woo in the 65-plus crowd. It's a soft sell, but a convincing one. The average home value here is $235,000. That is not bad. Number 7, Brookings, Oregon. Rainforest retreat without the price tag of Portland. Now, Brookings is a little more expensive than other ones on this list, but it is a coastal town in a very beautiful part of Oregon. It's also really close to California, in case you miss paying sales tax. But Brookings sits on the southern tip of Oregon's coastline where the Pacific Ocean meets the pine-covered cliffs. This town doesn't get the same love as places like Bend or Eugene, but that's exactly why it's trying so hard to get retirees to show up. The climate is mild, like annoyingly perfectly mild, and you get the kind of ocean views people in Malibu pay 7 figures for. Local officials and real estate agents have made a coordinated effort to target retirees, boasting no sales tax, relatively low home prices, for the West Coast I should say, and access to outdoor adventures that don't involve climbing gear or risking your hips. It's also one of the only places in the Oregon coast where you can grow a tomato without drowning it in rain, thanks to the Brookings effect, a weird microclimate that keeps the weather here sunny in the 60s when everywhere else is gloomy. It's like small town living with a front row seat to nature. The average home value, like I said, is a little more expensive, but for West Coast prices and on the coast, it's pretty cheap. The average home value here is $477,000, which right now is just a little over the national average. Number 6, Nacogdoches, Texas. The oldest town in Texas wants some new retirees. Nacogdoches may be old, but it's not ready to be forgotten. This East Texas town leans hard into its heritage, and it's doing everything short of offering free rocking chairs to bring retirees into the fold. Surrounded by piney woods and historic charm, it's basically a postcard with a Whataburger down the street. Home prices are manageable. They're well below the national average, which as of June 2025 is $367,000. They've also got a low cost of living, and there's a major university, Stephen A. Austin State, which means cultural events, lectures, and cheap football tickets. Plus, you get that perfect blend of small-town Texas hospitality without the suffocating heat of the western desert. Nacogdoches is actively recruiting retirees through local organizations and relocation programs. You won't be just another transplant. You'll be part of the community. Also, Texas doesn't tax your income, which means more brisket money. The average home value in Nacogdoches is $227,000. Number 5, Ironwood, Michigan. Retirement with snow, silence, and serious scenery. Ironwood sits in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, also known as the place people forget exists. But if you're the kind of retiree who would rather have fresh snow and fresh air than palm trees and pool boys, this might be your personal nirvana. It's remote, it's scenic, and yes, it's begging for people to move in. The population has been steadily shrinking for decades, and the local government is all but putting out neon signs that say, "Retire here, please." The cost of living is low, and homes are laughably affordable. And yes, there's a strong sense of community that's hard to find in bigger places. You're surrounded by forests, lakes, and trails, perfect for quiet hikes, snowshoeing, and yelling at squirrels, which I plan on doing a lot when I turn like 65 or 70. Sure, winters are long. I'm not trying to hide that from anyone. This is probably some of the roughest winters you'll have in the United States, but not everyone needs a beach, and not everyone, like myself, is into hot weather. But if you like wood stoves, fleece everything, and the idea of a town where the mayor probably shovels his own driveway, Ironwood's got you covered, literally, in snow. The average home value here is $100,000. Number 4, Washington, North Carolina. The original Washington, and maybe the most chill one. Before DC stole the spotlight, Washington, North Carolina was already doing its thing. This quiet riverfront town has been leaning into the coastal charm and colonial history while also trying to attract retirees like its full-time job. The city has even dubbed itself Little Washington, just to keep things humble. What makes this place so retiree-friendly? You've got waterfront views without waterfront prices. The Pamlico River offers boating and fishing opportunities galore, and the downtown area is surprisingly quaint for a town that most of the people drive past on their way to the Outer Banks. There are art galleries, seafood spots, and friendly neighbors who think traffic is 3 cars at a stoplight. The town leadership knows what they have, and they've been slowly turning Washington into an underrated gem for older folks looking to escape bigger, pricier cities. Plus, North Carolina doesn't tax Social Security, which is like handing retirees a gift basket every year. The average home value here is $246,000. Number 3, Emporia, Kansas. Sounds like a convenience store in the 1950s, doesn't it? It is flat, friendly, and practically empty. Just how some retirees like it. Emporia isn't on anyone's bucket list, unless that list involves wheat, wind, and peace. Sitting halfway between Topeka and Wichita, this little Kansas town is like a Norman Rockwell painting with a few more Dollar Generals. And while most folks bolt to Florida when they retire, Emporia is here like, hey, we've got everything you need without the humidity and HOA drama. Kansas itself has all kinds of programs that are luring in retirees and senior citizens. Emporia has a nice senior center, and they've launched several local programs to attract older residents and remote workers. Their downtown is walkable, friendly, and filled with mom and pop shops where people still say good morning. The local hospital is solid, crime is low, and the average home value is under $200,000. If you're not into the rat race and want a town where the biggest decision of the day is pie or cobbler, Emporia is your place. Plus, if you ever get bored, you can always drive out and see more of Kansas, which actually might make you more bored. Really, you're just going to sit home, enjoy a peaceful life, and realize how much money you're saving by living in Kansas. The average home value here is $172,000. And their downtown has a place called the Sweet Granada. They make handmade gourmet chocolates here. Family owned, looks really, really nice, and it's next to a beautiful old theater. You know, I'm a sucker for old theaters. Stop by, tell them Briggs sent you, and they'll probably look at you because they'll have no idea who I am. Number 2, Tullahoma, Tennessee. The retirement town that accidentally invented the jet engine. Tullahoma is where Southern Charm meets aerospace engineering and then puts it into a slow cooker. This small Tennessee town is famous for its Arnold Air Force Base and whiskey. Of course, it's close to Lynchburg. They gotta have whiskey. But in recent years, it's been making quite a move to pull retirees looking for a slower life with a lot more comfort. Cities boast low property taxes, no state income tax, and home prices like it's 2005. It's got great medical facilities for its size, a regional airport if you still like to travel, and lakes, rivers, and parks galore. They're also investing in walkable downtown development and local events that don't require RSVP. You're just probably gonna need a lawn chair and a winning potato salad recipe. Tullahoma is basically the friendliest retirement option that still lets you feel like you're doing something with your time, even if that something is feeding ducks and sipping Tennessee whiskey on the porch. The average home value here is $291,000, and it's a beautiful place. Everyone loves Tennessee these days. All right, before we get to number 1, if you're thinking about moving to any one of these places, there's a link for a website called Home and Money in the description area below. They can get you in touch with a real estate agent anywhere in the country. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Lewiston, Idaho. 2 rivers, 0 stress, and housing you could actually afford. Lewiston is tucked away in Idaho's banana belt, which sounds fake, but it actually means the weather is milder than most of the state. It sits where the Snake and Clearwater rivers meet, and the town is like the introvert cousin of Boise. Happy to have you visit, but even happier if you stay and buy a house. I love this place. It sits on the border with Washington. The Snake River separates the two. And directly across the Snake River from Lewiston, Idaho, is Clarkston, Washington. Get it? Lewis and Clark. I went through Lewiston last year. They're building a new bridge. It was the old bridge. They're refurbishing it, I think, making it bigger. It was nice. I hope it's finished by now. Retirees are a big part of Lewiston's growth plan. There are financial perks like no tax on Social Security and low property tax. Outdoor perks, boating, fishing, hiking, are all minutes away, and lifestyle perks. You can park anywhere and no one honks. It's also surprisingly accessible with a regional airport and plenty of regional healthcare options that won't require a helicopter ride. Overall, the stats are pretty good here. Everything's medium. Nothing's spectacular, but everything's just kind of average. Which is nice these days. I mean, it's either they're too expensive or they got too much crime. There's always something that drags them down. This place, it's all average. Cost of living is below the national average a little bit. Their crime is a little under the national average. Housing is a little under the national average. Their unemployment is even with the national average. And their schools are graded a C+. Lewiston is perfect for retirees who want some adventure but also want to be in bed by 9. It's peaceful, proud, and waving its small town retirement banner just loud enough to get you to notice, without being obnoxious. The average home value here is $380,000, which isn't terrible for a decent place with good stats. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, be nice to each other.